let's move on, yeah?
What's next comment? What?
Given quality for life. Lamont said he was over 160 fight night, so he could take those punches. In the first 5 rounds, he only took 3 rabbit punches, but they weren't flush. Lamont versus Lucas, he took about 5 flush rabbit punches, and that jogged his mind before the exchange with KO. Okay. What do you think? Yeah, a lot of you are in agreement that the weight that Lamont came in helped him in the fight. A lot of you are in agreement with that.
Yeah, he was stronger. You know what I mean? He was stronger. He didn't have to get down to the prerequisite 140 pound that he normally has to get down to. You know what I mean? He didn't have to starve himself for that, and he knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? You see a man coming in as a super middleweight. Shit.
I got a question for you, Pete.
Either, man, because that was a catchweight fight when he fought Matisse, too.
Right. I got a question for you, Pete.
It was only the 1 pound, and for the record, I heard Fair Shake say it. I've said it before, but I want to say it again. That was Matisse's decision. Lamont Peterson wanted to fight for the belts.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Beats.
Go ahead.
You mentioned that the chemistry between the two would make for a good rematch. Given what we saw Saturday night, how Peterson both at times made him miss, and how when Peterson came forward, stood his ground, if you will, took it to Danny Garcia. What adjustments should they fight again? What adjustments do you think Garcia can make? Because if you saw Saturday night, I think he's a bit limited as a fighter. He can only do certain things. And you mentioned the dexterity. I also added the flexibility. He only can do a certain amount of things. What do you think that Garcia could do in a possible rematch to win by a wider margin, if you will?
Double jab, body work. His footwork needs modernizing. You can see that, like, Lamont made him look like he was in the bare knuckle era with the footwork, when he started changing angles with his footwork.
Quicksand.
Yeah, but, like, look, man, there's a distinct possibility that Danny has shown all his cards as a boxer. Maybe there isn't that much improvement, but he does have power, and he's been a good servant for the game, man. So he deserves a chance to redeem himself and try and do a clean job. Lamont deserves a chance to set the record straight. I'd love to see the fight again. I'd love to see it again.
Yeah. Go ahead. Next one. Go to the next question.
Okay.
Yo, EJ, I gotta jump off, man. I gotta get my kids ready.
All right. Cool. Thanks for coming over.
Right.
Take care, bro.
Big up, bro. Big up.
Yeah, man. Bless up.
Yeah, man. Okay. Rick Russ. Next question. Do the YTBC think the rematch will happen, or will Danny duck Lamont?
What's that question? One more time again?
Rick Russ is asking, do they think that there'll be a rematch, or will Danny duck Lamont?
It depends on if Heyman wants a rematch.
Yes, exactly. It's up to Heyman.
If he wants it, it will happen. If he doesn't, it will not. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree with what the guy said, man. Anyone else add on that? Nope. Guess that's what it is, man. Go ahead.
He also says Lamont Peterson won, in his opinion. That's all. Well, if I go back to our post fight, what we got there, I mean, I know they're going in.
What is dope?
I'm not going to read them out.
But you know what? Now in it because they're going in. They're going in on us.
No, I'm not going to read the negative ones. Hectical Steel, he says, Danny Garcia won by 1 round on my scorecard. Lamont Peterson came on strong near the end. He made Garcia look so flat-footed, he should have let his hands go more in the earlier rounds, and he would have breezed it. I rate Peterson. I think he's a decent fighter. Any fighter with good movement and a long reach beats him. Beats Garcia, I should say. Man, was talking about Garcia versus Floyd. Floyd would school it. Nah, that's we don't. No one wants to see Garcia versus Floyd.
Not now.
It was never a good fight.
At the time, it was talked up though. People wanted to see it.
Who though? I mean,
Billy C boxing. He was the shit, man. That was it.
Toro the Illusionist too. He says good video beats very subjective fight.
Jay
Me
do.
personally,
Is that
I
Jay?
thought-
Go ahead, Beats. Go ahead.
Okay. Toro the Illusionist too, he said, good video beats, very subjective fight. Me personally, I thought Danny did more than enough throughout the first 2/3 of the fight to get the win. But Peterson walks away with a moral victory for not getting blown out and puzzling Danny a little bit. Okay, I think Peterson done more than puzzling. I think he contested the fight, you know. But South Star Online, he says thinks that Danny won more than one round. You know, JB42314, he said he had Peterson winning initially 15-13. We watched it and had it for Garcia 16-12. Wow. Peterson really didn't do shit until the 8th round. Good vid, fellas. Okay. GCIRC said the sad thing is Danny doesn't know how to cut the ring off. He got his ass handed to him. Peterson could have started earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
That's true. Or maybe he was slow. Or maybe Danny's just slow, man. You know what I mean? They said his hands are slow. You know, if you're slow, maybe you can't cut the ring off. But you know that you don't have to like. I guess he don't think like he has to cut the ring off. He thought I thought Lamont was gonna be there to be hit, man. Just they had the wrong strategy just to come forward and demolish. Like he's a very good counter puncher. Like real guys have been saying, Danny's a good counter puncher, but I guess if you don't initialize the target, then Danny struggles, man, and maybe that's his Achilles heel kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, man. No, I want to dictate your hang up. I'm gassing it out, man. Can we go into Quillen?
I was just gonna say that, bro, because you know what I mean. It's getting dry. I want to keep the thing lively. Let's talk about Kid Quillen. Let's go over it. Yeah, Pete, start up, man. Kid Chocolate versus Andy Lee. Go ahead.
Yeah, like he started off like a whirlwind, man. That overhand right, it looked like it was lights out. But Andy Lee, just for taking that punch and getting up and getting back into it, I have to give him credit. Man. You know, he showed some true Irish grit there, taking that punch.
Irish, yeah.
Irish grit there, I mean, like that. And like Quillen, man, like this guy, I think there's talent there. I don't think the commitment is quite there for him as a fighter. I don't think the commitment's there. And he had the fight in his grasp. I mean, Andy Lee was there for the taking. And he just wasn't professional enough to see the jump out, you know? His low volume, I mean, just double the jab up a little more, throw to the body. He didn't go to the body at all. He had the big, lean, long, white dude in front of him. Start throwing the body shots, man. None. He didn't do it. He just just passive. He just fell asleep and just let the fight breeze past him, man. Like, it's a shame, really, for him, you know, but excellent for Andy Lee to come back from that punch there and win. You've got to give Andy Lee full credit. When he got a draw, it was a draw.
Yeah, it was a draw. Yeah. Dana, go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, like a boxing beat said, it was a pretty good fight. And again, you know, Andy Lee showed his resilience again, and you know he was cocking that left hand, the whole time after he got knocked down, in the first and the third. But it was a good fight. I can't disagree with it being a draw, given on how Andy Lee came on in those later rounds, just kind of blew away Quillen a little bit in those later rounds.
Go ahead, Dana. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a good fight, very good fight.
You agree with the draw?
No, well, I think you have to give Quillen maybe one round, but I can't disagree with the draw. But if I had somebody winning the fight, I would say Quillen won that fight by 1 point.
Cool. All right, Michael, go ahead, Michael.
Okay, first of all, exciting fight. I agree with everybody else. The power of Quillen proved to be the difference earlier. After that first round, he got on fire. He was on fire from start. But the problem with Quillen is the lack of consistency on my part in terms of his attack. I think he doesn't have a diversified attack. Where was the consistent jab? Where was the consistent body punching? The combinations, the left hook. I could understand he was a little bit wary because Lee is often dangerous when he's hurt. But at the same time, whenever he landed hard on the chin of Andy Lee, he either hurt him or he put him down. That cautious approach and his inability to finish Lee when he had him hurt proved his undoing ultimately for me in terms of because Lee came back with his infamous right hook, and from really round 9 on, he found the timing of Peter Quillen, started landing counter punches here and there, was better able to evade the punches of Peter Quillen, swept 4 of the last 5 rounds of my card, which got him the draw in my opinion. But for me, I was a little bit disappointed in Quillen. I didn't like the fact that he came in overweight. In terms of me, I lost a little bit of respect. I never thought he was the best middleweight Quillen was in the world, but with Boxing Beats, I agree with him. There's something missing with him. He's not complete as a fighter. He's not well-rounded as a fighter, and moving forward as he fights better competition or whatnot, or possibly move up in weight, because the fact that he didn't make weight, it just proved my suspicion all along that he has issues making 160 pounds. Should he move up to 168 and whatnot, I think he's going to find trouble because, again, he has openings in his attack. His defense is not that sharp. And plus, he can be hurt. So a good fight, I would like to see a rematch with Lee if it could happen. But there's some definite questions in terms of Peter Quillen and his ability as a fighter.
Cool.
Because we know what Lee is. We know what Lee is. And I don't think he can improve that much. But with Quillen, there's some questions that really need to be answered about.
No doubt, man. For real. J Dills, go ahead, J Dills. J Dills.
Hold on. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I have Quillen winning by 1 round that fight. But I'm not mad at the draw because it was plenty of times where Quillen could just took over the fight by just going to the body and everything. And he could have finished Lee pretty early, but it's just something about him that waits too long and don't let his hands go enough. And I mean, he's just too patient, and his activity sometimes is a little bit lazy. It's just, I don't know if he's thinking too much in the ring, or he sees something that he's insecure about where he don't want to get hit with a certain shot. Either way, I just feel like Quillen is just something missing there about him. But overall, I'm not mad about the draw because Lee did get that knockdown later on in the fight, and then he was starting to out-hustle Quillen in some of those rounds. Now, I felt like Quillen won the 12th round, and I felt like he won the 10th round, I think. But either way, I would just have to say that it's Peter Quillen's fault that this fight got this close, and it's Peter Quillen's fault for allowing Andy Lee to even get back in the fight. So that just tells me what level he's on, and it's more of a mental thing with him than a stamina issue, a physical issue. It's just something not mentally right up in the dome of Peter Quillen. Like, how would he go against somebody like a Golovkin or even a David Lemieux? And I don't know. It's just something about Quillen that mentally is not upper echelon fighter to me. So that's my intake and my 2 cents.
Thanks, J Dills. Moving on. Chris Caban. Go ahead, Chris.
I was never impressed with Kid Shopley, Jeff, but I thought he won last night, but he let Andy Lee get back in the fight. He got dropped, and he just doesn't throw a lot of punches. I've never really been impressed with the kid. Never.
So who won the fight, man?
That's all I gotta say about that fight.
Oh, that's it.
I had fight. Quillen won the fight by 1 point, but it could have went either way. He let Andy Lee get back in the fight.
Shit, man. Most people not dreaming with the draw, man. Like, I saw the fight, man, and I'll be honest with you. When I saw it, I saw both dudes trying to knock